There we go. Okay. There we go. This morning with Tango, we're gonna have the goal of loading at Liberty. So before we start off, I want to make sure that I have his mental connection. So I want to make sure that he's asking me questions, checking in, and there's a lot of green grass around. So I want to make sure, while I still got the rope on, that he stays connected with me instead of getting distracted with the green grass. So all I'm going to start to do is ask him to do circles around me, reward for mental connection, reward him if he wants to check in. And I'm going to try and time my rewards so that while he's actually moving towards the horse box, instead of rewarding him for moving away from the horse box. So, forward. Good. I'm going to move my feet a little bit with him. Good. So what I'm looking for is him to also keep the slack in the rope. So I know that if he's upholding that responsibility of keeping the slack in the rope, if I had no rope, then it would be fine. But if I feel like he keeps drifting into the halter and causing some tightness in the rope, then if I took the rope off, I might lose him. Go forward. Nice with the trot, so he's a little bit enthusiastic today. If he looks away from me, I'm just going to touch him on his rib cage to ask him to bend more. Touch him on his rib cage. There. When I get that bend around me, yeah, then I'll reward him. Good boy. Forward. Good. So I've established a circle now away from the horse box. Now I'm going to close the gap. So I'm going to move towards the ramp and see if he'll do a semicircle and see what happens if I present the ramp to him. So I'm going to do one circle. Now I'm going to close the gap. So I'm going to walk towards the side of the ramp. And I'm just going to reward him for putting that effort into going straight onto the ramp with his two front feet. So now you see he wants to get off. So I'm going to see, without using too much of my rope, if I just use my picture, my body language, to see if he can put himself back on the ramp. Good boy. So I really want him to feel that this is the sweetest spot to be. Yeah, and I'm going to reward for any effort he takes forward. Good boy. Reward him for keeping his nose in the box. So it's very easy for them to get to this point, and then they start to look outside the box. So if he stays straight, I'll reward. Good. And if he puts in more effort to go in, I'll reward. So the one berth is open, the other berth isn't, so he's got to figure out which berth he can go into. So I'm just going to leave him, I'm not going to push him. Over here I might touch him a little bit on his back just to keep his nose inside. That's a good boy. So I want him to not feel like he's being pulled in or being pushed in. Yeah, good. You want to go in this side? Okay. A little bit. There's a pop. Okay. And go behind for the heels. See if I can bring him back to me. Good. Hi. Good boy. I'm trying not to use my rope because the goal is liberty, right? So I'm trying not to use my rope to see if he'll respond to my picture alone if I didn't have a rope on. Good. There. Good. Nose this way. Nose to that box. Oops, wrong side. This will make it easier for you. Okay. I'm going to point. That's it. Good. I'll give him a moment here while he's just sniffing. Boy. Good boy. So if he can only stand in for it for a few seconds, that's okay. It's because he's feeling a bit claustrophobic. So what we'll do then is we just do approach and retreat. So we'll send him in again, reward him for being in. If he backs out, give him a moment, send him in again. Yeah, good. by being clear with my rope now. So I've seen that if I don't touch my rope at all, that he's a little bit lost. Good. Yeah, good boy. Good man. Good boy. So I'm going to come in and rub him. That's a good boy. And just let him stand here as long as he can. So the worst thing you can do is once they're in is to close up behind and say, now you're trapped. That's not going to encourage him to feel safe inside the box the next time. Good boy. Very nice. I'll go to the front. I'll give him food and reward him. Good boy. Yeah. Super. Clever man. So you want to make it feel as comfortable as possible for them inside the box. Well done. Alright, so once your horse is in, you want to start with rapid reward, which means basically reward for just being inside the box. As long as he's not thinking about backing up, pick a reward for just being inside the box. And that's going to help the horse feel relaxed. What happens is when a horse is in fight or flight, trying to run away or back up or rush out the box, or anxious, the blood goes to the muscles to enable him to run away or to fight. When a horse is in rest and digest mode, which is basically eating, sleeping, playing, reading, the horse is eating and digesting food, so the blood has to go back into the intestines to help them digest the food, which then releases happy hormones like dopamine. The opposite of that again is fight or flight. When the horse tries to get away, the blood leaves the intestines, goes to the muscles, and then the body releases adrenaline to enable the horse to run away or to fight danger. So the more we can reward Tango inside the box for just being inside the box, the more relaxed he's going to start to feel, the more dopamine is going to start to run through his body, and we make this a really, really sweet place to be. So when he first came in, the reason why he couldn't stand is because he was on adrenaline. He was a bit worried, feeling a bit claustrophobic. So he was in a sympathetic state of the autonomic nervous system. The more we start to reward him for being inside the box, taking the pressure off, going into neutral and food reward, the more he's going to go into, the quicker he'll go into a parasympathetic state of the nervous system, which is where he starts to feel relaxed and on happy hormones. So, with the backup, once your horse is in and can stand and relax inside the horse box, you're going to start to teach your horse to back up when asked. So, oftentimes horses can take triggers to rush backwards. Someone actually climbing into the box in front, taking the halter or picking up the rope, and the horses start, they rush backwards, and that can be very dangerous. They can hurt themselves. So we're going to teach the backup on cue. So we want to teach the horses to wait until you ask for the backup, and that there, to make it very clear, is we're going to hold a knot of the halter, so a Theodore knot, and then guide the Theodore knot down to the base of the neck, so that the horse feels the actual ask on its nose here, which is the same to any other groundwork you've been doing. So we're going to hold the knot of the halter here. I'm going to walk, but I'm going to apply feel on his nose so he knows that I'm asking for the backup. That way your hand is also ready. If your horse starts to think about rushing too quickly backwards, you've got your hand ready to apply pressure for forwards and ask the horse to go forwards instead of rush backwards. So we're going to go, and we're going to ask for one step. So I'm going to move towards him and I'm going to push the knot there. One step, two steps, wait. And the moment that he waits and comes off the halter again, that's the moment you're going to click and reward. So you're going to reward the horse for the stop and the wait after you've asked for the backup. Alright, so we're going to ask Tango to go back now. So we're going to work on back up and wait. Back up and wait. So we're going to see if we can do it step by step. So it's back a step. So I'm holding the Theodore knot and wait. So I like that he's waiting. So I'm going to reward him for waiting. With his nose straight. Good boy. Good. We're going to go back a step. So I'm going to be clear with my back and wait. Good. So you can really take your time to do the backup. There's no rush to get your horse out of the horse box. That's when accidents happen. Keep his nose straight. Touch the Theodore knot. Guide back. 1, 2, wait. Yeah. So there you got a little bit quick. But because you practiced this, and when I asked for forwards off the halter, he stopped and he waited. So the training of responding to the pressure of the halter is overriding his instinct to rush backwards, or the natural, the flight mode. Good. So we're going to go back 2 steps and reward for weight. Super. So now we're in enough space. I'm actually going to crawl under here. Keep his nose straight. Crawl under and continue with the back up. So I'm going to ask him to wait. So I don't know if the camera can see, but he's going skew with his hindquarter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the hindquarter button and ask him to go over, straighten himself up, because when they go skew, they can step off the side of the ramp and they can get hurt. So we want to try and work on straightness at the same time. Okay, so we're going to go back, and wait. Good, that was straighter. Super. Good. Okay, and we're going to go back, and wait. Yeah, good weight. Good weight. So what I might just do now, just to really reinforce the weight, is reward him again when his nose is straight. Good. You'll notice every time I go to ask him to go backwards, I'll take the knot of the halter, guide his nose down to the base of his chest, and I want him to go forward again. So if he wants to go skew, I'll just touch him on his hindquarter, straighten him and go back, and wait. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, super. So something else that's really important about straightness is you can see what the moment he can look left or right outside the box, they try and look left and right when they arrive at a new environment or when they come out of the box, and then they swing their hindquarter and step sideways off the ramp. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight back as almost to the camera and see if I can keep it. Nice, thank you. I like this offering forwards. And see if I can keep him straight, just to get in a good habit of backing all the way off the ramp straight. So I'm going to ask if the field or not. Good. So there goes a little skew. Good. And back straight. See if I can back all the way to the camera. So there's a little skew there, so I'm going to touch his hindquarter. Go back. Back. There. Good boy. So in the moment there, I rewarded him for straightness. It's not perfectly straight, but we're not looking for perfection. Hey, good job. Alright, so we're going to give it another go with Tangy Tangs. I'm going to do a circle or two, and we'll see if he's more happy and more willing to go into the box a bit smoother. So I'm going to present him with the ramp. That's a boy. He's going to smell his poo first. Point, lift. Beautiful. That's what we're looking for. Good. Touch the hindquarter, because it's, yeah, and I'm going to go up to the front. Now I'm going to give him a reward. Hey, where are you going? Hey! Guide him back in. Good. Good boy. That's it. And then again, we're going to do some rapid reward here. Click reward, click reward, click reward, so he knows it's a good place to be in when he's inside the box. Alright, so we're going to take the halter off now. We're going to test and see how Tango feels about loading at liberty. He might run past the box completely, but we're not going to think like that. We're going to think he's going to run straight in and be happy to be in. I'm going to take the halter off. Also keep his head down while we're doing that. Good. Not eating grass. I'm going to put the halter right here. Pick up my extension of my arm and reward him for staying connected and not eating grass. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of circling. Good. Whoop. Tangy Tangs. Good. Hey, Tangy Tangs. So, nice example of what can happen. So what I'm going to try is to stay even closer to him. Good. So even if I have to stop him on the approach. No. So let's see if I can get his nose there, lined up with the horse box. See if I can just get him thinking. Yeah, that's it. Good boy. That's the answer. Well done. So he thought to himself there's a too big of a gap between me and the box, and he's going to slip right through it. Good boy. So now nothing changes. I'm going to sit and I'm going to ask him to relax and reward him for being inside the box. And then we'll do it again. So it's a little bit skew. So I'm going to do a little bit of a hind quarter yield. See if I can get him. Yeah. Good. That's the answer. Good boy. Excellent boy. Well done. Good job. Go in the front. Good boy. Good boy. So that's Liberty. All Liberty is a test of how good your communication is on the ground. And how much you actually rely on your tools. Hey, my boy. And also how good your rapport is. So if your horse chooses to be with you or chooses to be with the green grass. Good boy. And it's really nice how we brought him back. He caught me again, so he ran away. And then he went to grab the nice mouthful of green grass. And he actually connected with me again and he ran back to me, which I really like. So that's another test to see how your draw is. If your horse can reconnect with you and run back to you, that's awesome. And then, which beats going to have to go and fetch him and fetch your halter. So the fact that I could get him back at Liberty, back to the box, is also really nice. Yeah, it's a good boy. So we're going to give that another go. We're going to go back. So I'm going to stand up, rub him first, so that he doesn't assume every time I stand up, I'm going to ask him to back out. Good job. What I might even do is I might go out the box, get my tangy tanks and ask him to back out from this angle. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. So the back up, I'm going to lift his tail. Okay. Okay. Good. That was good. Good, wait. Oh, good boy. So I'm going to lift his tail, ask him to back. Boy. Good boy. Back. It's okay. You're okay. Good job. Very nice. And back. Reconnect. Yeah, that was a really nice backup. And that I could keep him connected with me. He didn't try and run past the horse box. So award for that. Good boy. Then try it again. And if it's good, we're going to end. Let's get that. The right side, this way. Hey, winner. There we go. Okay.